Welcome to Transit Talk, Human Design Transits, real talk in real time. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jess. We meet up about every 6 days to explore the current human design transits and how they're actually showing up in our lives. And we'd love for you to join us.
We're talking energy in the moment, what we're feeling, what we're noticing, and what the transits are stirring up inside us and all around us.
So, whether you're joining us live or listening later, we're glad you're here.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, and today the sun is in gate 7, which, Jess, how's that showing up for you? What you want
Ah,
there?
gymnastics, maybe.
Okay.
My nice balancing beam over here. Yeah, I was like, I was looking for, I wish I had like a Barbie outfit, that bright hot pink leotard looking thing.
I'm kind of surprised you don't,
I am kind of surprised I don't either. It's on the list now.
right? So tell me how that's showing up as gate 7 for you.
Yeah, so gate seven, I actually want to read this. This was really beautiful. I had a friend suggest this one actually. And let's see.
Because, traditionally gate 7, and, we think of the army. I really expected you to show up with, the stuff you had for the fighter, and having more like, um, what do you call it? Guerrilla warfare kind of makeup on. You're always so unpredictable. I
I
love
am. I like to surprise you, right?
it. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm thinking for gate seven, a gymnastics outfit. So something with like an Olympic medal or a gym outfit. Gymnasts are individuals, but part of a team, leading by example through embodiment and inspiration, not necessarily from a podium or elected top place or something like that. Something that represents embodied leadership that people follow because it's inspiring. Inherent leadership guiding others to common goal naturally. Embodied leadership in a skill. Democratic leadership, leading by example. So as you can tell, my line four is pulling everybody in. I'm like, what should we do?
That's awesome. And today I am representing gate 13, which is a gate I am very familiar with because it is the gate of the listener. It is my conscious moon, and it's both my Saturn gates. And I often will tell the story about how my second Saturn return pretty much brought me to my knees and probably brought me off into who I'm representing, which, if we think of the iconic, where do you go when you want to just tell your secrets and don't want to worry about who you're talking to? You go to the bartender, right? And the bartender listens, pours you a drink, stands there, wipes out his glasses, nods,
Yes,
smiles. You want another? Hey man, you had enough, right? I mean, they're just the perfect listener,
yes.
assuming you're not at a really crazy busy bar, right? But you think of that like Cheers kind of vibe. Everybody wants to go where everybody knows your name, that whole vibe. I
Yeah.
feel bartender is not that I'm saying you have to have a cocktail in order to be telling your tales, but it just felt like it was either that or it was going to be the hairdresser. And there were just better props, easier things to do with this. Have you guys seen the reel that's been really popular now for the hairdressers? And they're like, do you want, do you want just a haircut or do you want therapy? Therapy is $100 more. And they're like, oh no, I just want a haircut.
Yeah.
And so they pull off a piece of duct tape, put it on the person's mouth, and start cutting their hair.
Yes.
So
Oh, that's
yeah,
great. Love it. I love
I
it.
thought that was awesome.
Hmm.
So, okay. So are we going to go ahead and get into the
Are
stuff, or
we
are we still?
are we sharing? There we
Yes,
go.
we're sharing the screen.
We are sharing. So let's take a look here. What are we looking at? So we've gone into gate seven over here. So gate seven in the sun. So seven is over here in our G center. And so this is really interesting now as well because we've moved into the quarter of duality, which is that purpose fulfilled through bonding. And then we have our 33 as well. Not 33, our 13. Oh my goodness, we were.
We just had
30.
33
We
recently.
just had 33. We're in 13 now, which is the listener, which is interesting because I don't have this gate, but I definitely like I resonate with energy, but I do have the other side of that, that 33. So this is also in the G center. So like noticing right now with that G center, are you feeling a little bit more? This is about like direction. This is about like self-love. How is this showing up for you right now that both of these, that's that sun and that earth, that grounding energy right now in this transit? And then the 13, that is the quarter of initiation. And that's the purpose through mind, but also noticing that we have everyone right now is experiencing the channel, the 1020 that we have activated right now with the moon. So it's going to be a bit of a quicker transit with that. And what else do we have? What else fun things? The 731 as well. So we have
Well, it's
that.
interesting to note too that gate 7 and gate 13 are two of the 6 roll gates. So
Mhm,
if you're learning about profiles, there are there's certain aspects that we teach, we are taught in learning what the lines of the profiles mean, not just, in each gate there's different names, but there's 6 main gates that go into the forming of the role of self, the roles of different
mhm,
parts. So there are 2 collective gates, and those are 7 and 13, which
mhm,
we have right now. And then we have the 1 and the 2 are the 2, I'm sorry, the 1 and the 10 are the 2 individual gates. And then the 27 and the 59 are the tribal gates. But these are the only ones that activate as the oppositions, with the sun and the earth at the same time, which means they'd also be the same if you have the nodes, because those are also opposing gates like that. So it's just interesting to think about that. So when you're thinking about the lines of any of these gates, they really have a broader impact on profiles as well. So like even if you don't have one of these gates defined, you can look at the lines in that and you can see how they impact you and feel about you as whatever your profile line is. So
mhm.
I thought
Yeah.
that's an interesting little tidbit to reflect on. But we've got a lot of the identity center gates active right now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
46 is pretty new. We just recently had Mars move into 46. So that's all about embodiment. So you can see that the energy right now is really calling us to kind of walk our walk, right? Because we've got those 2 collective gates, the 2 collective gates, the 7 and 13 right now, but we also have the 10 and 25 that are both individual gates. And then 46 is also a collective gate, but it's all about embodying it all, right?
Mm. Yeah, the actual body feeling, which is
Yeah,
perfect for me to go today for my
yeah,
massage.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Jess has to skip out early to go get a massage. That's part of why we're doing this a little earlier. So we hope that we didn't mess any of you up too much. So we're doing this a little earlier today.
Mhm,
And also, um, I just want to point out that we have the full moon coming up in a few days. So
mhm,
that will also be in gate 13. So, I've never reflected on this before. I'm wondering since, you know, my moon is 13, but it's
mhm,
13.1, which is what we have right now for the Earth. I think the full moon is in 13.4. So, but I'm wondering what it means when you have a full moon that land on your own personal moon, like how, or something like that. So maybe somebody who knows more stuff like that about astrology. I haven't had a chance to look into it. I was just reflecting it as I was writing the cosmic weather for a little bit later. So, if
Yeah.
anybody
So,
has any thoughts on that, I'd love to know.
just thinking about, what is that full moon? The full moon is like it coming, like really, it's where it's like the most lit up. And it's like, what are we ready to release? What has been illuminated in our life? So, really deeply going into those feelings that you have and those experiences. So, that'll be interesting to see how that's showing up for you. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
exciting. Then let's see, Sasha. Well, also. And I believe yeah, it's Aquarius as well. It's the full moon in
Mhm.
Aquarius.
Yes,
13's in
for
Aquarius.
sure.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, Aquarius is my sun as well with the 19. So I love full moon in Aquarius. Everyone's like, full moon in Aquarius. Ah, I'm like, it's
Right?
wonderful. It feels very supportive. It feels like an energy for me that I'm very familiar with. So yeah, again, just like really noting that difference now that we've moved into this quarter of duality and that shift that we've gone through here. And that as well with that 13, that's that quarter of initiation here. And so noticing how that's feeling for me, I feel like everything feels a little bit calmer almost. Like it feels like there's this level of like not so deeply in that transformation.
I don't know. I just feel tired because I've been doing this crazy stuff this week. And I was thinking about how maybe it's that gate 46 embodiment energy, like calling me to do so. Because for those of you who might not follow me and might not know, I decided on, was it Saturday? I think it was. I just got fed up with being fed out of shape. And I keep saying I don't want to do something that's not fun. And
Mm,
nothing sounded fun. It all felt like some sort of obligation that I didn't feel like doing. And I had a million reasons why not to do all the things I knew I should be doing. And then I just decided that I miss dancing so much, and had been watching these people doing shuffle dancing. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna teach myself how to shuffle dance because that looks like a really good workout. And my legs won't even like it now at like yesterday was day 3. My legs are so fatigued that like I just don't even have like the ability to like really move them at any kind of pace. So it's not that interesting to watch, but people are following along with me. So anyway, but that's my, I don't know what, but I don't know why that just felt relevant to say at the moment. So okay. So are we gonna start with gate 7?
yes, real quick. So Marion said, moon, an extra emphasis to you and how you interact with the world automatically. Extra sensitivity and psychic hits.
Ooh,
I love that. And
awesome.
also want to just cheer you on because it is freaking amazing. And this is the cool thing. I really feel like you're stepping into, hi Lisa, stepping into like your role model here, where you're doing the thing. And it's not like you're like making anybody do this with you, but you're just naturally inspiring people like, hey, I've decided I want to do this like fun way of working out. And like, but really going through like the authentic motions of it, like, this sucks. I don't want to do this today. Because how many of us like start something and we're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm feeling pumped. And then you're like, I don't want to do this. But if you haven't shared or you don't have that like full commitment to it, that it's like, do I have to? And so like sharing that moment was so beautiful watching that and like hearing you go, I did not want to do this, right? And then also just seeing because obviously my kids watch the video and they're like, oh, music, this is fun. And Lily's like, I want to do this with Kathy. Like, Miss Kathy, this is amazing. And it was just so great to see her like jump in and be like, I want to learn how to shuffle. Also slightly frustrating because it took me about a month like practicing constantly like how to like shuffle and get that motion because you got to kick the foot back and forth. It's like a whole mental thing. In like 10 minutes, the
Glad
child.
to hear that it took you that long too, because I am still trying to. But now I feel like I kind of have the rhythm of the Running Man, but I have not got any, like my legs are fatigued because
Yeah.
I'm just so out of shape. So trying to do it and keep my balance, and I'm, very cautious not to roll an ankle or something, which will throw the whole thing off. But anyway, yeah, it's been great. And this is a good example of how like just speaking about what we're doing can really help us to achieve our goals. Speaking it because I
Yeah.
literally went to bed and told everybody on Saturday night, hey, I did this thing. Here's this pathetic clip of me trying. And I think I'm going to do this every day. And I woke up to so many people I don't even know saying, yay, you go. And do you want to know what? Since I announced this, I've gotten like 500 new Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta keep going now, right? It feels fun. So anyway, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that really relates to any of the energy of the transit, but I guess it's kind of direction and leadership because the the direction of self, that gate 7, the the sixth line in that really is about, even though it's called authoritarian, it's really about, going into things
Mhm.
from a higher perspective and just, it's very much that direction. Well, it's the direction of self, right? So
Mhm. Yeah.
the
So
direction of myself.
it is the
So,
direction of yourself, and I love it because like that description of the gymnast, how sometimes this gate seven, it's not necessarily that you are the public figure itself. It's like you're the leadership sometimes behind that, right?
right.
Where it's the logic gate of direction, but it's also like very future focused. And so you get others to like follow you by influencing people who are in positions of influence. So noticing like how that's showing up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to go through the lines with these?
Yeah. Well, I thought, yeah, I guess we probably need to start that soon, but I wanted to
That's
just
what your
quickly go
time.
through the basic. Um,
Mhm.
Jess got to run to a thing, but I wanted to just real quick run through the basics of gate
Mhm.
seven. And
Yeah.
gate, I know we talked about it a little bit, but gate seven is really this energy of finding common intent. So even though it is the gymnast, it's how the gymnast supports the team, right? It's the role of self as part of the gymnastics team. That's how the Olympics work together. They have to all share their role to move the whole team forward. So, um, and it's a logical gate. So in a logical progression, autocracy eventually gives way to democracy, and democracy leads ultimately to meritocracy. So, you know, we're going to eventually move to this place where we're in the higher expression. So we go from the low expression, the shadow of division, to the gift of guidance, to the city of virtue in
Mhm.
that. And then for gate 13, it is the fellowship with mankind, the listener.
Mhm.
Our common purpose in these times is in pursuing common goals, namely expanding all possible levels and varieties of human experience. Everyone needs to experience acceptance, acknowledgement, and appreciation in their journey through life, being a magnet for those who feel disconnected and need someone to hear their story. So we start with this lower expression, the shadow expression of discord, like just bitching about your problems, right? Everybody just complaining about the other person.
Mhm.
And it can have that permissive or narrow-minded kind of aspects to it. You see it in the political landscape, especially right now, where everybody's just got something that they're just going to complain about what's wrong instead of working for what's right, right? And
Yeah.
then we have discernment as the gift that brings us to the empathy, to where we can see the perspectives of the other side. So we really can, when we're grounded in that energy, then we can lead from a place of empathy,
Mhm.
right? So this gate 13 is really the energy that grounds us right now. So now we're going to move from cosmic cocktails to cosmic weather. And let's talk about the energy of the lines. All right, and now it's time for our weekly cosmic weather forecast where we bring you the daily line by line flavor of the current transit. Think of this as your energetic weather report, complete with a high chance of feels and a low pressure system of wisdom just waiting to land. So today is Tuesday, we're line one, and we've got authoritarian and empathy. So the shadow weather. So today the air has that my way or the highway feel. Some folks may be laying down rules while others just want a little kindness. It's an odd dance between wanting control and craving connection. But the gift forecast, clear intentions paired with open-hearted listening, set the tone today. True authority feels natural when empathy is guiding the conversation. The line conditions lay the groundwork. Lead with clarity, but don't forget to keep your heart open to those around you. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we have line two, the Democrat and bigotry. So that's one of those words, though. Don't get hung up on the words that name the lines. There's always a good silver lining in the meaning there, too. But the shadow weather, people may split into camps, either trying too hard to serve the majority or quietly judging those who feel different. There's potential for bias to sneak into group dynamics. Oh, imagine that, huh? Gift forecast, fairness and flexibility win the day. Seeing two sides to every story and staying neutral will open doors that judgment keeps closed. The line conditions for tomorrow, this is serve without self-sacrifice energy. Support the collective, but don't lose your own center. Thursday, line 3, the anarchist and pessimism. Ooh. Shadow weather, chaotic vibes incoming. Some folks reject all the rules. Others spiral into nothing will ever work energy. It's easy to get disillusioned or bounce from one idea to the next. The gift forecast is resilience is today's superpower. Trial and error is part of the process, and finding your own way may require stepping away from everyone else's. The line conditions, expect some turbulence, keep moving, experimenting, and learning from every twist and turn. Proof will come with experience. And now I'm going to send it to Jess to take over for the upper trigram of the cosmic weather.
The cosmic weather. Friday, line 4, the abdicator and fatigue. Full moon in gate 13, shadow weather. The emotional full moon feels are real. Leadership fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and the urge to tap out may show up. People might step back or even ghost just to breathe. The gift forecast. There's deep wisdom in knowing when to step down, step back, or simply rest. Listening deeply to life, even through the noise, reveals what truly matters. The line conditions. Release is the vibe. Let the full moon help you clear the mental clutter and emotional fatigue. Step away to hear the whisper beneath the noise. Saturday, line 5, the general and the savior. Shadowy weather. Authority energy is turned up. Some people may try to take charge or fix everything, while others expect someone else to save the day. The gift forecast. Confidence and purpose are the stabilizers today. Leadership rooted in service. The belief in humanity's potential brings everyone together. Line conditions. Clear communication is key. Lead with vision, but stay connected to the people you're guiding. Sunday, line 6, the administrator and the optimist. The shadowy weather, power struggles, and over control may bubble up. Others may seem detached or overly idealistic, dreaming of harmony without doing the work. The gift forecast, merit-based leadership, and big picture optimism combine beautifully today. Assign responsibility to those ready for it and trust that with each step is part of a larger union. Line conditions. Keep the long game in mind. Share power wisely. Look for the best in people and let hope shape your actions. That's your cosmic weather forecast, folks. There may be chaos in the weather, but you'll find clarity in your chart.
Thanks, Jess. Radical self-trust is still your best umbrella. Follow your strategy and authority, friends, and shine your light. Woohoo! All right. So that's the cosmic weather. We've talked a little bit about the lines. Jess has to run and get a massage. I'd love if anybody who's here wants to come on camera, and if there's anybody in the Facebook group who wants to come on the Zoom, the link is in there. I saw that Casey and Karen and Valerie and Sharon, and there's a few people in there. So if you want to come in and we can chat a little bit about how this might be feeling, or even about how the last transit showed up for you, that would be awesome. I know that Lisa, you're here. I know you said you don't have these two gates. Um, but yeah, you can see that the,
She has everything except for 2 right now activated for Lisa. And
yeah,
Marion has everything lit up except the 15. So are we feeling lots of
wow.
self-love, lots of direction right now? Like, I know where I'm going. Let's take this army.
Marion, do you have a defined identity center normally?
I do. I have the 1 and what else do I have? The 13 and the 2.
What channel defines your identity center though?
The 8 1.
Okay, so Jess and I both have that channel as well. So
Nice.
channel of inspiration, so much inspiration here for
Yes.
right now. So yeah, so this just changed at 6 o'clock this morning. So what, 5.5 hours ago. So I don't know
Mm.
how much chance you've had to notice a difference. Did you feel any kind of shift with this one when you woke up?
Me personally, I am challenging myself to be seen. So
Hmm.
that's why I came on here instead of just like lurk.
Well, good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, is that something you normally are a little leery about?
Yes. I mean, I want it, I'm a projector, so I want it, but I don't want it, that whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the 1.8. Do you have any other channels?
I have the community, the 3740. Is that 3740?
Yeah.
Yeah,
3740. Yeah.
that's it. So my defined channels are throat, identity, will, and
Plexus.
emotional solar plexus.
Yeah. Okay. So you're an emotional projector then. Like that's
Mhm.
what I am. Although obviously we're configured differently. But
Yeah.
yeah, so showing up is something that you decided you're going to challenge yourself with, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's cool. Yeah. So what are you doing that in any other ways besides what we're doing here? But besides
Well,
showing up here?
and it's more than showing up, it's more just being seen for showing up because I usually show up, but like I
But I mean on camera showing up.
um the other way I'm showing up is I bought my ticket for the High Desert conference
Yay.
yesterday. Yeah. So, and I am going to be one of the drivers. So I
Oh,
figure I'll meet a
yay.
lot of people that way. So
Oh, cool. So maybe you can pick me up from the airport.
I can absolutely. That's what I'm saying. And
Live there?
my motivation is need. So I'm like,
Ah,
telling them to use me. It's okay.
that's awesome. Do you live in that area?
No, I live in Los Angeles, but I'm
Oh,
driving out
okay.
there. So,
Cool.
mm.
Ah, that's so
That's
exciting.
exciting.
Ah,
Yay.
I love that. You'll have to FaceTime me in.
Okay.
I
Oh,
know.
that's such an amazing conference. And yeah, would absolutely love to invite you too in the group. Like, if it feels right for you, if you want to share a picture and just be like, hi, this is me. Like, this is my whatever. Just like, yeah, be seen in the group too.
Introduce
Just like
yourself a little
share a
more.
little bit, yeah, who you are. And for anybody else who wants to pop a picture, hi, I'm so and so. This is my incarnation or this is my whatever, to
Mhm.
in a place
An
that's like,
official invitation.
yeah, official
Okay.
invitation. We'd love to hear a little bit about people's lives or like whatever you want to share. Like we would really love to, whatever comes up. Yeah, absolutely. And if that helps support like being seen, yes, yes, definitely do that.
So
Oh.
I have another invitation for you and for people in general, and maybe we can combine it with this post is, this gate 13 listener energy is about listening to secrets, sort of, right? And these secrets all are things that all help the collective to learn and go forward. And so with this full moon energy coming up in this energy of the gate 13, the listener, which is all about, the full moon is about letting things go.
Mm, mm,
Um,
mhm,
what are the secrets that maybe you might want to let go
Mm.
and
mm,
share in the group? Or
mm.
just, whatever that means to you. It doesn't have to be like, oh, true confessions. It can be. I think of, full moon energy. I was thinking about this as the bartender, how the bartender energy on the full moon, you'd be like, or any customer service. If you've ever worked customer service,
Yeah.
there'd be these days where you'd be like, what? Is it a full moon? What the heck is going on with you? Because people would tell you the craziest things or just be so weird. And so I think this is a great time to share our weird, maybe
Mm,
a little bit
mm,
bizarre
mm.
stories of ourselves, or also the collective stories that we've been hearing in a way that I would like to ask us to not create discord with these stories, but to do it in a way that promotes empathy, right? We want to
Yeah,
share it in the highest expression of gate 13, which actually
empathy.
gate 13 isn't the gate that shares so
Yeah.
much, it listens. So
Mm.
you're allowing other people to use that gate 13 energy because
Mm.
gate 33, which we just came through,
Mhm,
is the one that takes the time and discerns and then gains gets the wisdom from it, which is kind of funny that we at this time of the year we go in this order where we hit the 33 first and then we get the 13, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we need to listen before we share. So
Sometimes, but you know, this is so perfect. I actually haven't told you this yet, but I have decided I'm going to Vegas. So I know you're surprised. So for some people that don't know, Vegas has a very sore spot in my heart. And it was a place that I was like, I will never go to Vegas. And so I'm tackling that fear. And I said, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to see what happens and just explore Vegas and whatever comes through and whatever happens there. So, yeah.
when are you going?
I think tonight. Yeah,
Oh my
so
gosh, you are
I'm
so
sure
funny.
you're gonna get lots of listening of what's happening on the other end of this, but like, yeah, share those things that you're, facing. This is a fear for me. This is a big fear. This was a thing that I was like, I will never go there. There's feelings attached to this place. There's a lot of things here for me in this, and I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to tackle it. And from that place of retreat where I feel like I did step back, I did listen to all those stories and start to come out. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to move forward. And this is, kind of the direction. So I will keep you posted on how that goes. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be late for your massage, Jess.
I know I'm gonna run. It's 10 minutes away, so we're good. I love you
Okay.
all.
All right, Jess, you run, but we're going to chat more. So if anybody else, the Zoom link is in the thing. If you want to join Marion and I, and Marion, I'd love for you to hang here, but I do want to read a couple of these comments, okay? Because Leslie says, I love exploring the layers of the energetics through the transits. I like to think about it first through the phase of the transiting moon and the house it's moving through, and then think about how my natal activation, moon phase, natal house, and sign is being expressed through the transit filter. I often use the analogy of historical artists. The house is the canvas, the ruling zodiac sign is the palette, and the transiting planet is the artist. For example, if you gave both Pablo Picasso and Andy Warhol red and yellow and asked them to paint different rooms in your house, they would both paint you masterpieces that looked vastly different. And while they both might mix their red and yellow to make orange, neither of them would paint you a purple scream. Wow, Leslie, that's really deep. I love that. Right? That's awesome. And then, Marion, Sharon said, good for you about you coming and being seen. So, okay. So this whole moon thing has me curious, and I love to go through these transits and just really contemplate what they mean. And I haven't thought about, you know, what house it's in. So Leslie, I wish you would have time to come on camera. I don't know if you do, but so are you saying you look more at the house that the full moon is in? Or Marion, you're a astrology person too, right? I'm just learning it through human design. I've been experimenting and learning more and more about it. But like, so when we look at our this full moon, is it more important to look at what house the um the moon is in for us, this transit, we look at the house that this transiting moon is in. Well, it would be the same, right? For me, because if my personal moon is in Aquarius, then it would be in the same house as the full moon would be in that house, the same as my personal moon, which I would have to look. I don't even remember. But
I think the contact is more important than the house placement. The fact that it's conjunct, the moons are conjunct is a stronger thing to look at. But that's just me, and I know I'm a little bit of a radical astrologer. I have different ideas, so I'll
I
just
love that.
yeah.
I think I have not met two astrology people who have the same ideas as each other. And I think that's true of human design, unless you are, um, I feel like if your ideas are the same as somebody else's, they're not really your ideas.
Mm,
It becomes too dogmatic, right? So what
yeah.
I love to do, whatever I'm contemplating, I just like to go where my intuition takes me on what to contemplate. Like I found myself really drawn to thinking about this gate 7 energy right now through the lens of my manifestor daughter, who is 24 years old and has an undefined identity center. And she has her unconscious moon is gate 7. And then she also has gate 13, and I'm blanking at the moment as to what defines that. I could look, but and I was just thinking about what it must feel like for her as a manifester of all
Mm.
things to have this unconscious leadership on this center that keeps feeling like I don't know if am really can be loved, right? So
Mm.
this gate 7 energy, and she's constantly surprising herself with her like determination about things, right? So I wonder what your experience has been like as you've layered. Did you know astrology first, Marion, before
I
you
knew
knew?
astrology first. Yeah. I'm relatively recent to human design, about 3 years in. Yeah. So, but I've been studying astrology for decades. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
mm.
So,
But I
uh,
think often think that manifestors, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they know on some subconscious level, they really know they're here to make an impact. And then there's such conflicting conditioning out there, especially if you're in a female body, of like, be nice, don't speak up, don't be too loud, you gotta be gentler. And they're like, but I'm supposed to make an impact. And then if you have an undefined G, it'd be like, is that true? Like you kind of like like
will
I
people
would
love
think
me?
you,
Right.
yeah.
Speaking of manifestors, hello, Valerie. It's so nice to see your lovely
Oh,
face. And I love that your little doggy came over and gave you a big kiss. Oh, there they are again.
oh,
Aw. What's your dog's name, Valerie? Valerie's dog, if you're listening on podcast, Valerie's dog keeps coming over and giving her kisses.
Actually, it's my grand dog. I'm dog sitting
Aw,
for my
aw.
daughter this week while she's on vacation with her boyfriend's family. So that's Milo, and Henry is the other one. And Milo's very anxious, so he might interrupt us with barking. But yes, I am a manifester with the undefined G. I was trying to get on. So did you say your daughter also has
Yeah,
that?
she has the undefined G and she has hanging gate 7 is her unconscious moon. And you might know that Jess and I have been doing all this work with the karmic attraction stuff dealing with the unconscious moon. And that's my daughter's gate 7. So it's really the energy that her aura is putting out to the world that draws the right people to her for good or bad, right? Because it's the design of a leader for good or bad. It's this whole thing that you can lead people down off a cliff with this energy. It's not like you're necessarily always a great leader. There's the shadow expression and everything, but she has it on this undefined G center. So yeah,
I
that's
think
what
I
I'm
also have a hanging gate 7. I'll have to look on the undefined G center. So I can really relate. But my manifesting channel is also unconscious. So so I don't know what I'm doing till it's done. Most of I don't know that I'm impacting until, the baby's there and people are either enjoy or screaming. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I may have done that. Sorry. Or yay, me.
Yeah, you don't know your impact until it's been had.
Right. Pretty much. Pretty much. So what is her manifesting channel?
Well, she is a manifester with no manifesting channels.
There's a projected manifesting channel.
Yes. So because she has I'm looking at, you do have a hanging gate 7. I have your chart, Valerie.
Thank
And
you.
it's your design Mercury. Oh, you have it twice. And it's your design, I mean, not design, it's your conscious Mercury and your conscious Uranus. So it's what you're here to communicate about, and it's what makes you a little bit different, a little bit quirky.
Oh
So,
yeah.
okay. So that being said, my daughter's design is she has the um, 2644 from the ego will
Yeah.
center to the spleen. And then she has the channel of struggle, the 2838 from the root to the spleen. So both of those motors connect through the spleen and then they come up through the channel of talent, the 4816. So that is, it's interesting. I can understand how all the dynamics work, but she's a manifester and I have not been invited to explain it to her. So she just thinks,
Never be.
what?
You may never be.
Right, exactly. So, but I found that, as with most things, just me understanding it helps me to deal with things differently and not give her a bunch of misdirected advice, right? It
Absolutely.
does. So, yeah.
That's, I mean, so powerful. My mother was also a projector. And oh, if we had only known these things, it would have made so much difference for both
Yeah.
of us, I think. She was a self-projected projector, so she only had her head and ajna defined. And or is that a mental projector? Anyway, she was all
That's a
open.
mental projector. Yeah.
And so yeah, I think so. Is her projected manifesting channel conscious or unconscious? Because for me, it makes a huge difference.
If I'm remembering correct, without pulling her chart up, I think that they're all either conscious or a combination of conscious and unconscious. I could look. Um,
But I loved what your other guest said about the manifestors. That was all of, I really related to all of that. I can't
yeah.
see her name right now, but
That's
she was right
Marion.
on.
Marion, this is Valerie.
Hi, Marion. I really related to all you said as a manifestor. All that's true. And I think, I mean, I think the best thing to do for a manifester is stay out of their way.
Yes.
Just stay out of our way and let it
Actually, she's a
go.
cross attention manifester, so she's here to like
Oh,
push. So I'm always like, get it, yeah. And she's got that hanging gate 49 on an undefined solar plexus, so and that's unconscious too. And I just looked, her her channels are all conscious except the channel of struggle is only half conscious. She's not, the unconscious is the 38. So and that's her, but that is her design earth. So it's a huge, huge part of her. It's her life purpose. So, and it's always interesting to me to think about how our life purpose, according to Gene Keys, is our unconscious earth because, we're grounded in this thing we don't even necessarily fully understand. And that's what we're really most here to do in the whole world. And she's here to fight.
yeah. Well,
Fight for
we need
what's
some
worth fighting
we
for.
we need some good fighters in all that's coming. So I'm glad she's here. And you know, it's interesting. I just read something Rod had written that said that the manifestors produced the projectors. And I think that there's some truth in that. Of course, there's truth in that. Ross said it, but I think that makes it really hard for the mom to be the projector and the daughter to be the manifestor because we're like, I made you.
Yes, and I still remember, I've told this before, so when I first had someone do a reading for me, like kind of, they were talking about myself with my husband, myself with my daughter, and they kind of gave me an idea, like a little bit of a mini reading on her. And I was like, oh my God, I broke her. I did everything wrong. I got, she's splenic. She's all these things. And I kept telling her to think about how other people feel, slow down. Why are, done all these things like, that just got her in her head about everything. And then I remember being like, oh, I just parented her so wrong for who she was. He goes, no, 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 that's exactly what she needed. She's here to find meaning through struggle. You gave her the struggle. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay.
Beautiful,
But
beautiful.
sometimes we don't, as parents, realize that no matter how great of a parent we are, we do something that, um, like, there is no way to parent perfectly because then your kids don't have resiliency. Like, if you do all the things we think are perfect, like, I want my kid to always be happy, never fail, never, all those things we think. And those kids will grow up crippled as adults. They don't even
Oh,
know how to
they're
function,
useless. They're useless.
right?
Yeah. I think that's why I mean, I really believe we're born into the exact family we're supposed to
Yeah,
be
I
for
think
our
so too.
mission. And I think that's why, I mean, I'm a manifestor. I have two generator children. Rarely, I mean, sometimes you do see projectors having projectors, but most of the time it's all mixed up. And I think that's part of it. We don't know how to parent the other kinds well, but you've gotten the knowledge, and so you are doing something totally different now, which is powerful. And Ross says, I'm giving you this for the children.
Mhm.
And I didn't do everything right with my two little generators either, but but I'm doing it more right as in their adulthood than I did, maybe coming up. And, I think too, the struggles make them. And
Yeah.
we wouldn't do that on purpose. If we knew we were doing it, we'd say, oh, no, I don't want to do that to my child. So I think we have to do it unconsciously.
Yeah, and I think this really speaks to the energy of this transit too, because the gate 13 is really about listening and truly listening. And so many times as parents, we listen with an agenda,
Oh,
right?
it's
And
hard
it's
not
true
to.
with, I mean, in any relationship, but as parents, we'll listen and then we'll try to figure out, how to use that to get them to be who we think they're supposed to be, right? Um, and we, kids, sure, it's important for us to set good examples and set some boundaries and have these things. But, kids are not meant for us to mold them into, we're just supposed to keep them from like we can kind of be like the thing that holds them up while they mold themselves, but we can't really mold them without damaging them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my firstborn was my daughter, and I always said she was she was a very high need infant, and she was also very strong willed, I thought. But turns out I'm the one with the defined will. So I guess she was just amplifying mine. but, but I mean, from the beginning, I had to back off and parent her the way she showed me to parent her because nothing else was going to work. She showed me how to parent her, and I'm grateful for that because I wouldn't have done it that way if she hadn't insisted. I mean, from infancy almost. No, I'm not going to sleep on a schedule. I am not going to do that, mother. Just get used to it. I mean, that kind of attitude from the beginning. And it was really a gift to me because I really learned to read her cues instead of projecting mine onto her
Yeah.
most of the time. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure I still did it some, but I couldn't do
Yeah.
it much. She wouldn't allow it. And I'm sure Manifestor Child didn't allow it much either.
He still talks about like in how it scarred her when she started to learn how to read, and she'd go to the bookshelf and she'd see how to raise your strong-willed child when your child doesn't listen. All these books I had about, picky eaters, all these things that basically she's like, I had the brat books. The
Yeah.
book basically told her she was horrible because she would read the titles and they sat there on the bookshelf. It was upstairs, but it wasn't like I had them down for company, but still she saw them and
I read all those
decided that
too. Read
what,
all those too. I read all those
right?
too. Because when
Yeah.
you have one, you're like, this is nothing like anybody else around me seems to be raising. And I need help.
And then I don't know how it was for you, but for me, I was like, what am I doing wrong? Why is this so hard? And what I realized was the main thing I did wrong was listen to everybody else who told me how to raise my kid, because I would start to think, well, oh, maybe they do know. And if I had really just trusted myself, and this is something Mary and you and I were talking about, how we both have the 1-8, um, and that gate 8, as soon as we start to imitate anybody else, we fall into mediocrity, right?
Ah,
And
that's
so
funny.
really you coming from our own authentic voice, even if it's making mistakes and doing things in a way that, other people don't agree with, being really true to our own voice and our own learning experience is always going to be the way that we find that our own specific um, style, right? Isn't that, I'm trying to think, it's style, and then what's the highest expression of um, exquisiteness or something, I think is the highest expression of gate 8, and we think of that to do with visual things when you think of style and exquisiteness, but it's really your own vibe, your own flow, your own way of being. So, do you have kids, Marion?
Uh, uh, I don't have kids.
Oh, you're muted again, hon. You muted yourself again. You said, I just heard 2 words and it muted again.
No
Okay.
kids.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, um, Let me just see, is there any other comments in the group? I lost it here because I had switched to something else. So, and then I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to share. Um, okay, Sharon's off to water aerobics. Yay, that sounds fun. Um, and it looks like Casey Daly said, lunar returns always activate me personally. Full moon is extra intense, in my opinion. Something to see. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you, Marion. So in astrology, for something to be conjunct, it has to be within a certain number of degrees, right? Is it?
Yeah, it's certain orb.
Yeah. And so within human design gates, how many lines does that usually equate to? Do you know?
Well, actually, that's a question I want to find out from someone. Because
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I am not clear on how the degrees in an astrology chart map up with the mandala. It's all confusing to me.
Ah, I
And
have.
I haven't been able to find someone to ask that question to and them give me a clear answer.
Well, I have this lovely little cheat sheet. Let me see if I can find it, and then maybe I'll share my screen once I get it up here. Um, and it basically tells you what, here it is. This is the degrees that a gate is within. And so then I actually think I have one somewhere that breaks it down, but it is multiple pages. So I won't share that here, but this is something where you can look at it and you can say, okay, if this gate goes from this point to this point of, here it is. Um, so like, for example, if we're looking at the moon,
Ooh.
okay, Aquarius, gate 13 goes from 13 degrees, 15 minutes to 18 degrees, 52 minutes. Um,
Mm.
so, that what I'm wondering is, is that how many degrees is typically considered conjunct in a,
Well, in astrology, I think most astrologers have their own orbs they use, and usually the luminaries like the sun and moon will can you can give a bigger orb to because you can feel their effects from a larger area. But if you want to be really conservative, you could look at like a 4-degree orb, but
okay,
most people use a larger than that one. But it's really when it's a lunar return when it's exact, and then within the 1 degree is a pretty powerful place to look.
yeah. So if we're looking at this range of 13 degrees to 18, a little over eight, closer to 19 degrees, here there's
Mhm.
like 6 degrees. So, it's probably pretty safe to say that each line is close to a degree.
Yeah,
If my moon is in line 1, it would be 13, 15, and the other one would be in line 4. It's going to be about 4 degrees later. Is that still enough to be conjunct for a moon, or would you say that isn't? I'm just
4 degrees would be conjunct still. Yeah, 4 degrees. Yeah.
okay. All right, interesting.
I mean,
So,
some people use an orb as large as 10 degrees, but that's
hmm,
pretty big.
and just to give credit, as you can see, I got this little reference from Unlock Your Design, which is
Oh, so I should go
um,
there to get this.
I can send you this sheet, but yeah, you can go, that's their
Okay.
Instagram, but I think their website is 64 Doors. And what I love, if you notice, they have an archetype by each one. So like they call
Oh,
gate 13 the confidant, right? And then
oh,
if you look at gate 7, that's called the alpha.
oh,
And so they've got a lot of nice resources in there. So nice plug for that. Bella Crystal and Ashley Nicole are the two that do that.
ah,
Bella was on my
yeah.
podcast about a year ago, so that was a really good episode. If anybody's interested, you can go to Real Human Design Stories and watch that. But I also have a sheet that I got from Chetan Parkin, I think, and Kerala, where they did it and they broke them down by the lines. But
Mm,
that's not just a sheet; it's like lots of stuff.
gosh, that's so helpful to me.
Yeah. So you get to the point where you have so many resources, you just can't remember where your resources are all located.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, well, it was lovely talking to you ladies today. And I need to go and maybe do some shuffle dancing before I'm getting new furniture finally delivered today that I've been waiting for months and months and months. So I'm excited about that. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm loving your shuffle dancing and I'm inspired. I'm not a dancer at all, but I would do that here with my granddogs. And
yeah, well,
some
try
kind of
it.
dancing, nothing that complicated, probably just to wiggle my butt a little or something, you know.
Well, see, I'm normally just a butt wiggler and a really like feel the rhythm type of dancer. I've always been somebody who gets really in my head, even back when I was a kid and everybody was doing the line dances like the hustle and stuff like that, or like then the Cupid shuffle. I can do those. And I used to always joke like I was the type who could only do those when I had like a cocktail or two because I could get out of my head enough. So this is requiring a lot of actual using my head to learn the steps, but then getting out of my head enough to be able to like move my body. But my body is so tired. Like literally this type of movement is something I haven't ever done. It's very different footwork and anything that I'm used to. And so the impact on my legs is not painful, but it's just fatiguing. And so I'm finding myself being really unstable and stuff. So it's not really that exciting to watch right now. So
But it's
hopefully I'll be able to
inspiring.
actually do some dancing in to where it actually feels like I'm having fun. So
You're going to get there. You're going to get
I
there.
know I will. I just hope it doesn't like bore too many people along the way. So
No, I'm inspired. I needed the inspiration, so thank you.
awesome. So
Mm.
yeah, so if anybody wants, you can follow along on my Facebook or on Instagram. It's just my name, Kathy Bashanko. So have a great day.
You guys too.
You too.
Out,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.